Gentleman yields back. For what purpose does the gentleman from Kentucky seek recognition?
Move to strike the last word.
Gentleman's recognized.
I would like to give the author of this bill a chance to explain why he chooses to ban a firearm that shoots a .223 round, but not ban a military weapon that shoots a .30-06 round.
As I explained before, the assault weapons ban that is before the committee identifies 5 characteristics. Those characteristics come from a report that was commissioned by President Bush, done by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, that looked at what were the characteristics that would distinguish a sporting weapon from a military weapon. And they concluded that the characteristics that are described in this bill are things which have a military purpose and have no hunting or sporting purpose. They further concluded that they increase the lethality of the firearm and the effectiveness of killing great numbers of people in the shortest period of time. In fact, they were weapons of war. Well, those characteristics are what make this weapon dangerous.
You're saying because this gun has a pistol grip, it's more lethal than the gun that shoots a cartridge that's twice as powerful.
There is no question that there are a number of guns that are not semi-automatic assault rifles that are dangerous and capable of killing. What is different?
No, the gun, reclaiming my time, the specific gun I'm asking you about is M1 Garand. And I'm going to read to you, I've got it here on a poster behind me.
Oh, if you're talking about the weapon behind, that's a historic weapon. So that's exempted because it's a historic, it's like a relic, it's like a collector's item. So nobody uses those in mass shootings, last time I checked.
I'm going to submit for the record 2 articles from the 90s where that gun was used in a shooting.
30 years ago?
No, what you're pretending is that you can ban a plastic gun and that a wooden gun won't be used.
Look, if you want to add that gun to the list, you think it's still a danger, I'm happy to take that amendment. But it's not, let's be serious about this, Mr. Massey.
Reclaiming my time,
these are guns that are slaughtering children, and stop playing games with historic antique relics.
The time.
Reclaiming my time. I'm going to, I think it's really odd here. We've got the author of the bill claiming that an M1 Garand is not a military weapon, when, in fact, I'll have to read him a quote again from General Patton. In my opinion, the M1 rifle is the greatest battle implement ever invented. Now, I know...
If you're quoting General Patton, that's good evidence it's a historic weapon.
I did not...
Gentleman's time.
I did not...
Yield? I did yield for a second?
Let me finish this, please.
On that point.
Because what I need to also show you, because we were forced to watch a video of ballistics of a .223 round entering gelatin. You should also show the video of a .30-06 round entering gelatin, because it's more than twice as powerful. And this is not the gun that Mr. Cicilline bans, because it doesn't get him any political points. It does.
Because it doesn't. Because
it's used.
Well, the gentleman yields.
No, I will not yield. You had a chance. You have no logic behind your bill. Every one of you are saying this bill bans weapons of war, when in fact it bans AR-15s, not M16s, and it specifically exempts the M1 carbine, which I showed you a picture at Iwo Jima was used. It specifically exempts the M1 Garand. The reason you exempt them, they have wood. They are wooden. And you know, or you think, that you can bluff the public into believing that if you ban the black guns, that there will be no trouble with the wooden guns. The reality is it's all unconstitutional, as my colleague, Mr. Bishop from North Carolina, has already pointed out in the context of Heller, where they said that guns in common use can't be banned.
Would the gentleman yield now?
And I will not yield. You, Mr. Chairman, you can take your own time, please. But I would yield if you can explain why the black plastic gun that shoots .223 is more lethal than the wooden gun that shoots .30-06.
As the point was made previously, the M1 of World War II, the various weapons that we saw the Chinese marching with, those ancient guns were far less lethal because they may have had a larger slug, but the muzzle velocity was much less. They didn't tumble, and that's why they were excluded from the ban.
The reality is they're heavier. They are more lethal, but they are heavier. And they came up with a smaller gun that was lighter to carry. That's the only difference. The lethality is greater on the M1 Garand. I'm not encouraging you to ban the M1 Garand. What I am telling you is you are putting on a show today because you're flashing pictures of a plastic gun around. I'm directing my comments to the chairman. Because you know you can scare people with that. And you need to apologize to all the people that you invited here today, telling them that you would solve their problem by banning the plastic gun. Because
Mr.
that
Chairman, I
is
seek
not
recognition.
going to solve anything.